hello, and welcome to another episode of the Lions Den podcast. We're here on a Thursday night this week to recap everything that happened last Sunday night in regards to the game versus Santos. It was a Sunday night matchup, which Louis was present. So we'll hear about everything he has to say about yet another return to an estadio. It must be the greatest feeling ever, especially a game that was just so interesting. So we'll definitely break that down for you guys and talk about everything that happened that night and kind of where we see Leon kind of climbing up on the table. So thank you for joining us. If you guys are joining us via YouTube or Periscope, let us know your thoughts of what you thought about Leon versus Santos. Any comments, thoughts, we will share them on the screen. Thank you for joining us. Carlos and Louis, gentlemen, how are we tonight?
Pretty good. Feeling good about where the team is right now.
Much better.
Yeah.
Finally, I feel like we're finally getting back to our level.
Yeah, and trending very much upward. Already firmly back in the repechaje positions at least, but still with an opportunity to get much higher than that. And trending upward at the right time, especially with Conca Champions starting as well. We wanna be playing as well as we can, and I still don't think they're there yet. I think they can play even better than this, but they're much closer to what we're used to seeing. That's for sure.
Definitely. Andrew does random blogs. Says hi, hello. Definitely. I think in our last podcast, I think we had a good boost of confidence of just seeing a team that we know what they're capable of against a poor Necaxa. But I think this game we knew was probably going to be a tough one and probably going to cement things and see what Leon's form is. So it was just a really good game overall. I mean, people were writing about the Puebla game. Oh my God, it's Puebla Toluca. But no, guys, this game was the you did not watch it, please watch it. So in order for us to start talking about the game, Carlos, are we ready for the pregame?
Yes, let's do it.
Do it.
All right, so first of all, we're now in FIFA international break. And last week it was announced that Meneses, Mena, Campbell, and Colombato all received call-ups to their respective national teams. So they're all out all week. And hopefully they come back healthy. But the big news, obviously, is that we hadn't won a game at TSM since 2015. And Louis was there to see it live. First time we've won in 6 years. Louis, how was it?
Yeah, I was there for the 4 previous losses as well. I realized the first game I went to was the game after the previous win in the Apertura 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been to four pretty crushing losses there. 2 of them were blowouts. The last one was we started winning and ended up losing. Actually, I've been to 2 of those. It's just been a house of horrors for us. It's been a terrible place, and the worst part is it's an incredibly complicated trip to get there from Guanajuato. There's no good way to get there. Pretty much everywhere else you want to go in the league is either within a few hours or there's a direct flight from the Bajío airport to get there, but not so with Torreón. You have to do it's some combination of either a flight and a long bus ride. A long bus ride, then a flight, or a really, really, really long bus ride. and so like to have all these times to have gone there and not gotten a win has been kind of frustrating, to say the least. But man, did they pick the best possible time probably in any of these times to get their first win in 6 years at the TSM. It was such a meaningful one.
And it wasn't easy.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, and it was hard fought. It was well played. There was controversy, but I mean, generally, more often than not, that's why this is the beautiful game. The team plays better, ends up with the result. This was an example of justicia deportiva.
Right.
I would say the better team. Leon was the better team in this match. for stretches, Santos was maybe the more aggressive team, the more intense team. They always are at home. They're one of the great home teams in Liga MX. They hadn't lost at home all season. They hadn't lost a home game in the regular season since September. And of course, they lost to Pachuca in the repechaje at home, both of those games with no fans, of course. I mean, when their fans are in attendance and the fan attendance, I mean, the fans made their presence felt. It was only a 40% capacity or so, but the fans definitely made their presence felt, as the León fans had at home the week prior. And they do not like to lose, let me tell you. I was a little scared doing my victory dance at the end that someone was going to come up and clock me from behind. So I tried to wait until there were no ultras, there was no porra, there was no barra brava in the stands. I think the barra bravas are on indefinite hold, even as fans return to the stands. So yeah, I wasn't too concerned, but you never know. They definitely don't like to lose. They hadn't lost at home in a really long time. The fans hadn't seen a loss at home live since who knows when. I don't know. This was dating back way before December, because there hadn't been fans in the stands in a very long time. It's only the second game back with fans for the Santos faithful. So man, I couldn't think of a better time, just in terms of I thought of this. This was probably the hardest game remaining on our schedule. We have some tough opponents left. Toluca will not be easy, but at least that's at home. Mazatlan will be tricky. They're hot and cold. But I thought this was probably definitely be, if not one of the most difficult games we had remaining, and they passed the test. And they went in there and they got a good, hard-fought, well-earned result, in spite of any controversy that anybody might want to try to bring to the table. That we've been victims of our controversy ourselves. What goes around comes around. This time, it ended up going in our favor, but it's not to say the result was not deserved. That's not to say the experience wasn't absolutely incredible. It was an incredible experience. Getting a road win and being there to see it, this is why I insist on going to all of them that I can't go to, because when it happens, there's no other feeling quite like it. When you're at home, you expect to win. When you're at home, you expect to win. You're on the road, especially in a place like Torreon in the TSM, where there isn't a large percentage of visiting fans, hardly ever, especially from the representation from teams from the center of the country down below. Like, there aren't a lot of León fans that make the trip to this game. So to be like literally one of 5 or 6 people to leave the stadium happy, there's just there's nothing that compares to it. So yeah, incredible experience, incredible first road game to be able to go back and be in attendance. I was like, oh, they're going to open the stadium in Torreon. That's going to be my first trip back. It's one of the more complicated ones, but I'm going. I wouldn't miss it for the world. And yeah, great experience. Also, Torreon, not a very interesting city, but they love their football. Their stadium is one of the best smaller stadiums, I would say, in Liga MX. So the experience there is incredible.
A really nice stadium.
It's a really nice stadium. The city is not nice. You can see they invested all the money in Santos Laguna. That's fine with me, because it's a great experience for a visiting fan, for a home and a visiting fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone here predicted a win except for Gotti, so I'm gonna go ahead and call out Gotti. Gotti, what's going on?
I
Did you not have
told you
faith in our
guys.
boys?
No, I told you guys. I hope I'm wrong. And I think I reflect back on what I said, and because of the way we won it in Necaxa, not obviously underestimating them, but honestly on the pitch it wasn't that much that they could give. So Leon got a comfortable win. So I was like, I don't want to have that confidence going into Sunday with Santos, and we know how tough these matches are in Santos. So I was like, I don't know, like I really hope I'm wrong. I'll just be a little bit conservative, but I'm really glad I was wrong. So
if even if I think we're not gonna win, I will never say Leon will lose. I will say we will win by
exactly
narrow margin of 1-0.
Por la mínima.
I will never say.
Por la
Yeah.
mínima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Diego Sanes said Leon. Yes, we're all happy here. La Fiera is already unleashed. But underscore Martinez 91. They are unleashed, and we're hoping that continues, especially after this international break. A tough schedule coming up. Carlos, anything else?
Starting lineup. I mean, the starting lineup was the same one that we ran against. I think it was Necaxa, right? Basically, yeah, it was the same starting lineup. Cota, Osvi, surprisingly Osvi, because I don't think anybody else expected him to get 2 starts in a row and play so well. Barreiro, Tecillo, Avion, Colombato, Navarro, Montes, who had a incredible game. Meneses, Mena, and Campbell at the front. Campbell, I mean, geez, I just
he got too cute. Louis,
he got too
cute.
Oh,
what was he doing?
That has always been a problem.
It was painful. I mean, he could have made us way less nervous if he had just brought the ball down with his foot and tapped it in. Like, why can't we know he's capable of it.
He has the time in the world to do it. Like, why didn't he? Like,
we know he's capable of it.
Yeah.
He's not great at finishing with his head. He does have a couple of header goals that I remember as a member of Leon, notably against Tijuana in the Liguilla. I remember that, but that's not his strength. And he would have had an open goal if he would have brought it down like a normal person and put it away. We're capable. He's capable of it. We've seen him do it. He was very clinical against Necaxa with his finishing. Like, I don't know, maybe like the bright lights and the crowd, and like he wanted to do something spectacular, but it was not the time for it. He could have made the game a lot less nerve-wracking if he had just not gotten cute, especially because they got a PK immediately on the other end, which was the end I was sitting on. I was sitting on the Santos attacking end in that half. So in the second half, I had a front row seat for the Navarro golazo, which was great.
What a golazo!
Yeah,
what beauty.
He doesn't score ugly goals, it seems. You know?
No,
he doesn't.
He doesn't. Yeah, but it's not like he's getting cute like Campbell. You know, Campbell is just like I don't know what he's trying to do. He literally had 90% of the goal wide open.
He just had to ricochet.
And he heads it to the 10% that's covered. So I don't know.
Maybe did you guys think it was just, I mean, in a moment of like, do I kick it? Do I header it? I don't think he even knew. Like, it was.
Yeah,
I mean, the build up was fantastic. Go on.
I think he probably like took too long to decide, and then when he actually did, like, that happened. Yeah.
Well, to his credit, Acevedo, who was a factor in this game, like he doesn't need. I mean, he's going to get to every ball he possibly can. Like he doesn't let anything cheap slip by him.
That's why.
So he might have thought Campbell might have thought my only option is to head this. If I take that extra split second to bring it down, then Acevedo's going to get to it. I don't think, looking at the replay, I don't think that would have been the case. But maybe that's what he thought.
I mean, if Acevedo had. Even though we won by 2-1, like he had a great game. There were so many chances that we could score more goals even before that, and I mean he kept it out, and I don't know, like it was so much easier to stop a header, in with the performance he had, it's like a straight shot. There's no way. Even if it's Acevedo, like, I mean, he could have, but that's just like I don't know, like 10 more times harder than a simple header that really didn't have anything in it and no placement at all. It was just straight at him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that whole sequence, that and then the PK at the other end was extremely frustrating, especially because we had completely outplayed them to that point. And Acevedo had to be a figura the entire game in order for this not to be a 4-1 or a 5-1 win. I mean, he had a couple of amazing saves, to keep it close.
Yeah, but speaking of the PKs, it's interesting to note that both of them are pretty much the exact same thing. I mean, both of them were the player trying to, filter the ball into the box, and it just happens to hit the opponent's hand. Because I don't think Colombato put his hand there to try to stop the ball. He just happened to have his hand there,
And it's that
And
stupid ball rule for this season.
yeah,
Just,
yeah, that too.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, he shouldn't. He shouldn't have to be defending like that in the
Yeah.
area either. That's not his.
it's a rookie mistake that he did.
It's a
It
rookie
is
as well.
a
It's
rookie
it's an experience.
That's
Obviously,
like,
he doesn't.
That's like defending 101.
Mhm.
Don't raise your hands.
Yeah, and well, he shouldn't. He's probably not. I mean, clearly, as the position he plays, he shouldn't be that used to defending in the area.
yeah.
But so we'll forgive him this once. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again.
Oh, I forgive him. I forgive
I
him.
mean, I think we're not talking really about that because lucky for us, we got away with the win. But if it
Yeah.
would have influenced the score, then maybe it would have been another story. I don't know.
I don't know, because we played so well that I don't know. Like if it was a tie, if it was a draw, we played a hell of a game to just blame a draw on that play. I don't know. I feel like we played so well. Every podcast for like the last 5 podcasts, I've said that we've played our best game so far, and same with this one. I feel like we've played our best game so far.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best performance as of now this season. In this last game. Yeah, I mean, with what I'm seeing and happening for the last 5 games of the season. So if we're gonna get into the Fiesta Grande, it's gonna be now with this performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Well, I mean, they're all they got to do is hold serve now. They've. That's the funny thing about this league. All it takes is a couple of wins in a row, and the narrative completely changes.
It looks
I mean,
like
the narrative has completely changed. We're all the way up to 9th now, which is crazy. I mean, to think about where we were a few weeks ago, and I think it's a fair position to be in. I mean, it shows that we're on an upswing. We're trending upward, but we also had a terrible start. I mean, so kind of like I think it's a perfectly fair position to be in right now. But they can get much higher. I mean, I think at this point, if they don't get at least a home game in the repechaje, I mean, they still can theoretically make the top 4 if they win out. Yeah. But I mean, I think getting a home game in the repechaje is probably the goal right now. Anything less than that would probably be a disappointment. The way they're playing and how they're trending.
Yeah.
So where do we need to shoot at, like, is, I don't know, opponent wise or position wise to get a home game? Because I'm kind of not very clear on that.
5 through 8 positions, 5 through 8 in the table get a home game in the repechaje.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then 9, yeah, and then 9 through 12 are away. So if the table finishes as it is now, we would play the 8 seed, which I don't remember who it is. We would play the 8 seed away. But I mean, we can get higher. We can get higher than we are right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We just gotta keep the momentum. I think hopefully.
8th seed would be Xolos.
Okay, so we play away to Xolos. Yeah, we don't want that. We need to try to get. We need to try to get higher.
Want that one.
we need to try to get higher than we are now.
not the cancha de Estadio Caliente. That's
yeah. No.
But that's crazy. Look how Xolos started the season. They were the talk of the league for the first 5 or 6 weeks.
Yep.
And people are still saying like, oh no, Xolos is good this year. Xolos is really has found their mojo again. And León is just awful. León hasn't done anything. What's happened to the campeón? We're 9th and they're 8th, like 1 position difference now. That's how fickle like
and
a good run and a bad run in this league is.
Trend now.
Yeah, definitely. So we were talking about Osby earlier, and I know I kind of was shocked that he repeated the same lineup in regards to Osby. Okay, let's go ahead and throw a performance review. Osby, how do we rate Osby from a 1 to a 10 in this particular game versus Santos? Cumplió, but did he do more? Se nos ha llenado más el ojo, or is it just he had a really, really good game, but I still don't trust him?
No, for me, his ceiling is cumplidor. That's
really?
That's his ceiling for me. Yeah, I don't think. But before he wasn't even that.
Yeah.
So like now he is that. It doesn't surprise me that he repeated the lineup with him. I think he's found his 11. I think his 11 is the 11 that we saw. I think he likes Davila now as more of a super sub. And I think Osfi is start, because if you start Osfi, then you can start another foreigner. You know, if you got a cumplidor there, you know he's gonna get the job done. Then you can start another four. You don't have to worry about the foreigner limit. And also, we're all speculating, I think, that Jairo is probably on his way out after this season, and wherever he's going, probably would prefer that he didn't get injured before that happened. So his minutes are probably being limited for that. I don't know. I think we're a better team with Jairo because Jairo is much more than a cumplidor. Jairo can do a lot more things.
For sure, especially with the CCL coming up. But he looked terrible
when he's on form. Right now, that's not Jairo.
He's super rusty.
Rusty. I was like, bring Osby back. He looks so out of tune.
He doesn't even have a haircut. Like normally he has like a fresh haircut, you know, looking fresh, trying to go out there and ball with these dudes, but he looks like he's been at home just bumming.
Yeah. But is he like you know, like with the haircut does he get superpowers, Carlos, or something?
Yeah.
Well, in theory, he offers. In theory, he offers a lot more than Osfi does. Like Osfi's played better than what I would normally expect of him. So I'm not gonna jump on him too harshly. But his ceiling for me is cumplidor. I don't think he can be much more than that.
But he's still young though. What is he, like 24, 25? So I feel like he has a lot of room for growth and improvement. Yeah, so I feel like he has a lot of room for growth and improvement. Like if we've seen him go from what he used to be, where we used to be scared of this guy starting, and now we're like, all right, well, he's okay, es cumplidor. But I feel like he hasn't reached his ceiling yet. I feel like he could still level up a few levels.
You know what I really need from him, like to actually like make me think that he could be a starter. I need a full season, like so that he que no se no injuries, not like no bajas de nivel, like that he keeps most of that level most of the season. Then I'll think, oh yeah, okay, this guy can be a starter, and not just like an occasional pain that can fill in the void in case so and so is not in.
I mean, he started against Necaxa, who, if you take Necaxa, you're like, all right, well, they're last place on the table. It's you know, anybody's going to shine against Necaxa, but then you start him against Santos, who's one of the better teams all season, especially at home, and he has a really good game. Then maybe there is something there. Maybe we're underappreciating him right now.
I think he has that level to like reach that level. It's just injuries and whatnot had hampered it. So that's what I mean. Like if I can see at least like one season of him being like healthy wise, like no injuries, like that, then it's possible. It's just for him. That's what really has like not only like, you know, like tiene un juego bueno, tiene un juego malo, but that the injuries, that's mainly what has like not but prevent him from cementing a starting spot.
I don't know. I just don't think he offers that much in the attack, and I don't think he ever will. I hope he proves me wrong. As long as, I mean, if he goes to another team, I don't care what he does. But as long as he's going to be here, and as long as he's going to start, I mean, I really wish for him to show something more than he has. I just don't see it. I really don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like he's wrong.
He's a different kind of defender. Like he's not bad. It's just that, like, you know, like we prefer, like, I guess, a more attacking minded defender. That's what we, you know, that's what we're used to. That's what we like to see. But yeah, I don't know. Like, he's doing good. Hopefully he keeps it up.
I think modern football demands that. It's not just what we want to see. I think you basically nowadays you need your outside backs to be threats in the attack. And
that's true.
Jairo, it just is way more of that for me. Even if he's not in great form, he's just way more of that for me than Osfi is. So
I feel like if he were to
know.
leave, I feel like if he were to leave Leon like on loan and somebody else took him from us, he'll become the next like Chispa Velarde or Leo Lopez and just shoot up and just become a better player. Because I don't know, I feel like I said, I feel like we're underappreciating him here in Leon. He's now getting a chance, but he never really had it in the past. So I feel like if he were to go away, we'd probably look back at it.
We'd probably
and
miss him and say we
we would
have
miss him, and and Aldo Rocha too. You know, we'd probably be like, damn, like why did we let him go?
I mean, I
We
feel
should have
like
developed him.
we do have I think we have I'm trying to think of the best metaphor, but kind of like hard eyes right now with Jairo Moreno and thinking he's going to stay, and we're we have this high expectation of how we want to play and how Jairo fits in that ideal style of play. So if Jairo were to leave, I mean, I would be okay with Osvi, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like I still need more time. I still need more time for him to solidify that he is a whole.
Okay.
I trust him. Like you know what I mean? Like
that's fair.
That's an interesting question that you like something you mentioned, because what if what if Jairo leaves and then it's just Ospi and Tecillo? Do you really think that they're gonna bring Extranjero to fill in a left back role? Because Jairo wasn't really a left back; he was a winger. Just converted him into a left back. Like, they weren't looking to get a left back. You know
whose card we still have?
Just happened.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jose. I don't know if this is true or not, but I think we still own Cornejo's card.
I don't think so.
He was a left back, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was.
But he's a tronco.
Terrible. I know he was terrible.
I mean, he was terrible on everything except free kicks. Man, he was great on set pieces. He was really good on set pieces. But just in terms of the regular everyday duties of an outside back, he's not what we need.
But I think it's a good question in regards to, let's say, if we do always, from what it seems that Jairo is out the door. If the CEO were to take on that left back role, I guess we would look for Extranjero center back, or
I've gone on record saying that's where I like him best.
Mm-hmm.
Is at left back.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to replace him with another Extranjero, or I mean, is there any other Mexican center back that we can afford?
You can start Mosquera, as far as I'm concerned. If you move to
start Mosquera,
that's the thing though. Like I don't see Leon like getting like at least like if we're talking like nationally, I don't see us getting
because I want another like Nacho Gonzalez, you know what I mean? Like another Mexican center back. That's what I want. Like a Rafa Marquez, Nacho. Like I want someone like that. I'm not degrading Mosquera. I just think I prefer a little bit more stronger presence. I mean, to me, I think Barreiro has totally won me over compared to how he started till now. He has won me over.
Yeah.
So
we still have Ramiro Gonzalez coming back.
You think he's gonna come back?
He's on loan, right?
He is on loan.
Yeah, but
who we get rid of? Because
what about Herrera Kiwa? Don't we still own him too?
No, he was always on loan from Pachuca.
He was on loan from Pachuca.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's back with Pachuca.
He went back home.
He's just like one of those like interchangeable pieces between Pachuca and Leon.
I mean, if we can use Ramiro as a piece to get Nico Ibanez here, I don't want him back.
Be part of the trade-off between San Luis and
part of the compensation for Nico Ibanez. Imagine if we had Nico Ibanez.
We'll give you
here.
Nico Sosa and you give us Nico Ibanez. Let's switch to Nikos.
They can have Chuy Godinez too. I mean, for free.
I honestly don't think we're gonna get rid of him. Think so.
So he's like one of so he's like one of those pecados in the clock then?
Who? What?
Chuy Godinez is just one of those becados in the club then? He's just there?
Yeah. Becado, yeah.
I think as long as Nacho Ambriz is there, Chuy Godinez won't go anywhere. I really believe that.
Even if he doesn't play?
Even if he doesn't play.
Don't worry, guys. He'll start him in the Champions League.
Oh, was it one
No,
of the worst decisions he's ever made. One of the worst decisions he's ever made as manager of Leon.
I hope
we can't criticize him too much for all the joy he's brought us, but that was awful.
That was not the smartest move.
Yeah.
that was awful. Like, man, like, what was it?
Let's
like,
just bring back Armando Leon.
I take him.
He should be recovering.
He is.
I take him 100 times out of 100 over.
He got
injured.
For how long?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it was a long-term injury when it happened.
He had the knee injury that Mosquera had.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be for a while.
Yeah, so that's gonna be tough to get.
Well, I guess it'd be a good opportunity to get Hernandez in, right? The other youngster.
Anyone.
Yeah, pero no le da una oportunidad, pues.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Give him a chance. I mean, he gave the other Hernandez, I think, a chance. Or
Pedro Hernandez.
Yeah, but he didn't give Iván Hernandez a chance. I don't know. I guess it's just more difficult for strikers to get given a chance. I don't know.
I think in just Leon, it's just we already know how that situation has been for the past couple years. So it's just really,
especially now that they're not really obligated to give them
pretty
minutes.
much. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about La Dupla que enamora, which is Monte and Colombato. What are y'all's thoughts?
I mean, that's definitely a major factor in why our game is starting to look like what we're used to seeing.
Yep.
Again, Colombato is not a recuperador. He's not Aquino in that sense. We still miss that recuperación from Aquino, but just the quality, the creativity that dupla brings is, and the possession. I mean, we're still one of the highest possessing teams. We've remained one of the highest possessing teams, or maybe the highest possessing team in Liga MX, even all through this stretch of bad results. Now that dupla is starting to generate just all kinds of quality.
Yeah.
And I think it can still get better as they get to know each other and get more comfortable with each other even more.
Yeah, we're actually the highest possession team so far. I think I just read that stat a few days ago. But yeah, I mean, it looks like these guys have been playing for a long time together, and they've only been together for a couple of games. But I mean, yeah, this guy Colombato, man, he's there. His vision is there. He's a really smart player for his age, and it's definitely a much better option than having Jefecito there.
Yeah,
much better.
That's the thing. I mean, that's why I think
23, 24, something like that.
23, I think. Maybe 24.
Is it 23? Because
he's with the U23. Yeah, he's with the U23. Although the Olympic rosters are now expanded to 24-year-olds.
He's 24, guys.
The Olympic rosters can now are U24 because the Olympics got postponed for a year. So they decided to make it that way. But yeah, that's why I think Osby is going to start from here on in, because you can't start Jefecito. You just can't do it. I mean, if you want to lose, you can do it, but you can't start him, and that's one less Mexicano. And so if you start Osby, then you can be sure you can always start Colombato. I think that's why we're going to still see Osby. That's what I was saying about the not worrying about having that extra foreign player.
What about for CCL? Do we expect some kind of shuffling? Do we expect to see some
shuffling? I expect to see Gigliotti play.
Yes.
So what's up with Gigliotti and about him not playing because of contract stuff?
If he logs a certain number of minutes, I think only Liga MX league minutes though. If he logs a certain number of minutes in Liga MX play, then Leon is required to buy him from Toluca. and they clearly don't want to do that. Yeah.
So they're gonna stop watching every time he plays.
I guess,
but I think he can play in CCL, and those minutes don't count. So I expect to see him there. Yeah.
I think that clausula is very high, so that's why. I don't remember how much it was, but maybe for a player of that age is extremely high. I think it was like
probably.
Yeah.
Like as good as he was for us. As good as he was for us. I mean, we brought him in to do exactly what he ended up doing, to be a presence in the area in important matches, and that's what he did. But we got to figure out a way to get that without buying his card, because we don't want to be buying a 34, 35-year-old striker for that price.
Yeah.
And Leon, it's not really want to, spend that much money on a player, let alone a player that's older. Like
if they weren't gonna renew Boselli,
exactly.
at the same age,
I was gonna bring that up.
Then why would they do it for Tldp?
Yeah.
And he was our second all-time goal scorer. So Gigliotti has what, like tops, maybe like 10.
I think including he has about 10 goals with Leon, which is honestly probably, if we're all being honest, more than we expected.
Yeah.
But and the moment and when they happen, they happen in extremely important moments. But no, if we didn't buy Boselli back, we're not gonna buy Gigliotti.
For sure.
Oh.
Let's see. I had something else I was gonna ask about. Let's see, what was I gonna say? Talk about La Dupla, Colombato and Montes. Navarrito, because I've said this, I feel like a broken record. Navarrito's just been he's been just key. And I feel like now him playing in this much more free role, it just gives him the liberty to do anything and everything, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, he hasn't played that his right back position maybe all season. I think he only played it once. But
yeah,
but I remember back to when Nacho Ambriz said that he was going to start playing him as a midfielder, and so far he's been amazing at the midfield role, because it feels like that's what he's always played, because he was never really like a true right back who just stayed back and defended. He was always getting through, and getting behind the defenders and creating opportunities, which is what he did. And I mean, that goal, guys, wow! Who else screamed it? Who else screamed it?
I believe I did. I did in the stadium. I couldn't contain it. Like I just couldn't, because it was right in front of my face. Like
oh man,
like literally. And there were a couple of other Leon fans, just a couple of other Leon fans in the next row over. We were kind of like, because they couldn't, like at the other end, I could see, I had a little bit better view of like the calls in the area on the other end. So we were like in communication on the other end, and we just couldn't contain ourselves. Wow. It was incredible. But yeah, Navarro, I don't think he started his career as a contención. I think his best position is as a deep lying playmaker, and that's how they're using him now. Like, you want him always in a position to do exactly what he did, to be dangerous from just outside the area, because he has that kind of quality, he has that kind of touch.
Yep.
But if you start him as a right back, I mean, he's having to play way out of position to be in those spots, and so like they're using him now in the best position they possibly can, in my opinion.
What's the best part about the goal? The best part, how he left two guys in the dust.
Yeah,
that's probably
the finish. Part. The finish was incredible, but yeah, like he deked the heck out of those two dudes, and like you just saw them after they saw it go in, and you saw them standing there like what were we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do with that?
Oh man,
I mean,
it was amazing.
Bro, I was jumping, and I probably kicked something, and I hopefully I didn't break anything. Yeah. Yeah,
I think what's crazy is that the people in the stadium were like abuchándolo, yelling him bad names after when they had him on camera. I'm just like, y'all really salty that he did that.
Yeah, I heard that.
There was a video going around. Fans are extremely salty. They do not They don't like to lose at home. That was that made it way better. But that's all they've got up there. That's all they've got up there. Apologies to anybody from Torreon who's listening to us now, but Santos Laguna is all you have. Yeah.
Near the end, we had that controversial. I literally was like, really, guys, right now, you're really gonna ruin Leon. Jose, how did you feel? I can just imagine you being stressed out
over the penalty.
Which one?
That was
Yeah.
Are we talking about?
Okay. Yeah. The penalty that was called on Cota, but then called back.
Oh, the penalty. Yeah. Oh. No.
Like, the one at the very end. The one in stoppage time that they went to VAR for. The one on Cota, they did not go to VAR for.
No, that last play. My bad.
The last
play. Oh, the one that hit his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Whose shoulder was it? Colombato?
Oh.
I can't remember.
I actually couldn't see. I was on the other side of the field.
I was just fuming.
It was either Colombato or Osvi, but it hit them on the shoulder, and the Santos players were crying about that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not the one where. Sorry, I was.
No, it's just so much happened in this game. That's why I was literally penalty.
Because there was a
VAR. No. Yes.
Yeah. Because that was also before. I don't know if it was before that or after that. The Cota when se aventó and then he tripped the other Santos player.
Yeah, that was before
that one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Was that after the one you're talking about?
No, that was before.
Before that.
Yeah, the one with Cota. The one with Cota was before this. We're talking about like the last one of the last plays of the game.
90 in the 90.
Is it the one that they supposedly one of the 11 players touched it in the area?
Yeah,
but
then they went to VAR.
But it didn't touch anyone at all.
Literally anybody at all.
Not a hand or an arm.
Yeah, it went to VAR and it was
Yeah, that I mean, even before they went to VAR, you could clearly see that no one touched the ball because usually when if you hit someone. The trajectory kind of changes, but it just went straight out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, no, I don't know. I was praying that this referee wasn't gonna screw us over.
That's what it felt like for a split second. I was like, are you kidding me? Now? This has to happen right now?
I was like, no, please, no, we don't when that happened. Luis,
oh, dude,
you changed my mind. I was like, no, 2-2, please, don't give me a 2-2. I don't.
And then he went to VAR, and then he came back, and I was like, show me, and I was like, show me something pretty, please, show me something pretty, and he went like this, and it was the most beautiful arm waving I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly, man. Santos wanted to tie that game or win it a huevo, they wanted to win it through VAR.
Well,
they didn't want to win it. They didn't want to win it cleanly. They wanted to win it through VAR.
I don't know, but even with that, those 20 minutes, man, those were the last longest 20 minutes of my life. They just kept coming and I was like, no. I was like, referee, please, ya pítalo, bro.
How do you guys feel about that? Because
I was so anxious.
There's a lot of people on Twitter who are saying I don't like how Ambris falls back. He starts defending after a certain time and trying to defend the lead.
I can't stand.
What do you guys think about that? Because I mean,
I don't like it either.
To be honest, that's how we won. That's how we won La Final.
Right now, I don't think we have any choice because we're not firing up there. It's usually I'll tell you, before, how we used to do it before. If they score 2, we score 3 or 4. But right now up there, it's not it's not the machine is not carbonating like it should. So I think it's starting.
It's
I
starting.
think it's starting, but it's not there like up to the optimal level yet.
Yeah.
Well, we
So-
had 8 shots on target, which is the most we've had all season, and we've had more shots on target than our opponent this game, which is I think the first time.
I just think they put themselves in a position where it's not beneficial. Let's say Campbell would have made that goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's say for whatever reason, let's say he didn't even, for whatever delusional thing that he didn't see, let's say they scored, it would have been 3-2. We still would have had that up a goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we can't be put in situations like that, and I don't like that Ambris does that. Like there's no need. I mean there's a need when there is a need. So like you said, that's kind of how we won, right? I just don't like it because I think it's
that's how we won, but that's not how we got the lead. That's not how we don't get the lead playing that way. We got the lead in what, the 60 something minute, and to that point, Santos, they hadn't scored from the run of play. We controlled the run of play. Like just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to
20,
change.
30 minutes.
Yeah, you don't have to change your style. I don't know.
No, yeah,
I didn't like it.
I agree. I don't like it.
That sounds weird coming from Louis, who used to say, "No, enough. No, one goal is enough. As long as you get the win, you're good to go, and you don't have to kill your legs, and
you don't have to win by goleada, but you can play. You can play. You don't have to play such a closed off game. No,
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. It just bugged me.
It did bug me too because I was like, literally have the opportunity here
too.
Yeah.
So
why though? Like I don't know why. And that's why it just like again it puts us in a perspective where we don't know how this is gonna go. We don't go mentally things are gonna fall apart. And it's like, what was that whole effort for the X amount of minutes if now we're not looking great? You see Yaito sub in. It's like literally we should have just kept Osby on because Yaito is like disappeared. I forgot he was playing sometimes.
Yeah.
And then Campbell. Okay, so Campbell subbed out for Davila. If Campbell would have made that goal, would that sub still would have been early in the half or no?
I mean, he wasn't doing anything else. I think.
So he was destined just to come out.
I kind of want to see their roles reversed. To be quite honest with you, for some reason, Nacho seems to have decided on Campbell as the starting number 9, which he isn't. We don't have a true starting number 9 as long as if Gigliotti's not going to play for reasons aforementioned, then we don't really have a true starting number 9. But I kind of want to see the roles reversed. I think Davila was doing pretty well in that role. I mean, maybe a little banged up from that injury he suffered. What was it, against America or against Monterrey?
Yeah,
against Monterrey, he went out with an injury. Maybe he's not like ready for 90. But I kind of would prefer to see him starting up top and Campbell coming in as the super sub. But that's just me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's 100% yet. I think that's why Campbell's been starting.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you could make a case that Campbell's the most experienced 9 that we have right now. Because he does
without being a 9. Without being a 9.
Without being
but I mean, Davila is not really a 9.
He's not a 9 either, but I think he'd been doing a little bit better with it. I think he was kind of growing into the role. I mean, he's never going to have a great aerial game. You want your true number 9 to at least have a shot at getting on the end of a header and being skilled at that. He's never going to be that, but I mean, he had a couple of nice strikes that would have been great finishes were it not for Acevedo in this game.
True.
So, I mean, I think I like him a little better there. I don't know. We'll see how they decide to go moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. I think it will be interesting to see what the front looks like, especially going into CCL, having that quick turnaround and the same thing back and forth. So I guess we'll see what I mean, Gigliotti. I mean, Louis saying Gigliotti up front. Campbell could still be an option. Davila. I mean,
it's a good problem to have, though.
It is. It's just how do you
balance
balance that?
Yeah, we'll see. There's not a limit on extranjeros in CCL, right? So we can start.
And like, is Nico
Yeah, I
Sosa
don't
going to go to
think
CCL?
Who?
You know what? That would be amazing if he did, and he maybe a start against Toronto, or at least some real minutes against Toronto, and like that's where he scored his first competitive goal for Leon. Like I could see him doing well in a situation like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
In a way that maybe that he hasn't in
Louis.
league. I would love to see him do something before he
He's
leaves.
not
I mean,
bad. It's just I don't think.
I would imagine this is probably his last season in Leon, no matter what happens. And
So we're
I would love to
shipping
see
him on
him.
a loan.
We'll probably loan him out.
We'll either loan him out or just cut him. I don't
They
know.
have his contract for what, 3-4 years? How long is
Couple
it?
years.
Okay.
He got signed for a couple years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we have to
then
loan him
we'll
out.
then I would imagine we'll loan him out. Maybe back in South America somewhere. Maybe back in Uruguay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe they'll send him to Everton, Viña del Mar, where once promising players go to disappear. Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah.
That is so sad.
But I would love to see him do something. CCL would be a fun place for that to happen.
Yeah.
Bring him back. If applicable at that time. Jose, we have you back. Okay, guys. Anything? Jose, do you have something to show us today?
Yeah. Hopefully, by where is it? Jornada 14, I'll have a lot more in depth, but I do have a couple of things. Let's see.
So it's gonna show us. I guess, are you gonna show us how we are at after?
Yeah, 12
matches.
12 jornadas. Yep.
Awesome. So while Jose looks for that, that kind of was our recap of the Santos versus Leon game. Definitely was a very interesting game. Lots of emotion, very good footy back and forth, and I am so glad Louis finally got to see Leon win at the SM. So yeah, just a quick turnaround after international break. So Jose, are you ready?
I think so. Yeah. Okay, 2 matches. There you go. So let's see. Right now, the one that I was able to gather is just the points. So I'll go ahead with that. So let me see. Just I had it in 2 different tabs. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Okay. Share screen. And it should be this one right here. Are you able to see it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I think it's loading still.
Go ahead.
Okay, just it's still loading on my screen. Just give me a second. But I guess I'll just go ahead. You'll see the graph eventually. So right now, in terms of points accumulated in the last 12 matches and after the start of the season, we got 14 points. We're in the 9th position. Last season we were at 27 and at first. And Clausura 2020, only 10 matches were played. So 21 points, second. Apertura 2019, 20 points on the 4th place. And then Clausura 2019, 29, first. Apertura 2019, 13 points and 14th place. And Clausura 2018, 15 points, 12th place. So we're kind of like around in the same numbers as the Apertura 2018 and Clausura. And then Clausura 2014, which was the one or the last bicampeonato, 15 points and 11 place. So with less 1 point less, we're actually 2 places above what we were
Okay.
back then. Right now, so and let's see.
It's crazy. 27 points in first place. And Guardian
Exactly.
is 20.
Yeah, I think what the deciding factor was that we were winning,
Yeah.
and right now we're not. Even yeah. So
And that 11th place in the Clausura 2014 at this point is encouraging because we're higher than that now, and of course that was the bicampeonato season.
mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess there's still some hope for a big second bicampeonato. If we go
Tricampeonato. We're going for the triple
for the
with the
triple,
Conca
all right.
champions, with the Conca champions, and the campeón de campeones,
I
and the Leagues
mean,
Cup.
that will be. I'm pretty sure that will be a club record because I don't think we ever won 3 competitions. We never done the like what they call the tremble.
Right, the
It's always
treble.
been it's always a double for us in their own history. So hey, I wouldn't mind that at all.
This could be the year.
If their stars align at the end of the season, I man, who could imagine after such a disastrous start?
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's see. And let's see if I can show this one. Wait, where did my window go? Right there.
Cruz Azul is still in first place. Interesting. 30 points.
Okay, so
They won't
and
break
then
our
this
record,
is
Nah, they got Chivas and Juarez. I'm counting on one of them.
I would love for them to get to 11 and then lose.
oh, I can move this. Give me a second. Let me move this thing right here because
Okay.
I forgot to move that.
After Cruz
So it's
America
not
leading with 28 points, Santos 21, but we beat them. Monterrey 19 in fourth place, Toluca with 19. Atlas, look
There
at
you go.
Atlas, sixth place with 18 points. Puebla, gotta knock Puebla, guys. And
Where's Puebla?
Seventh place with 17.
Who's the biggest surprise, Atlas or Puebla?
Atlas.
Atlas, yeah, Atlas is always
Yeah, now that game looks a lot more difficult than it did a few weeks ago, for sure.
Yeah.
Against Atlas? Yeah.
Yeah, away to Atlas.
Yeah, it does.
Mm.
It's okay they lost Acosta, which was a really, really good player.
Yeah.
Definitely
They'll find
added
a
a
way to
lot.
mess it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and remember,
Wait.
either San Luis or Atlas will be relegated, not relegated, but have to pay the relegation fine, and as such will not be playing in Liguilla. So either one of them finishes ahead of us. That's one spot higher than we actually are right now. Just keep that in mind.
Okay. Well, don't mind that graph. I couldn't move it. But anyway, right now we I just wanted to compare the matchup between, since we're going against Toluca. So Cristante, good thing for us. In the last 5 meetings that they have, Ambris in Cristante, Ambris has 3 wins and 2 draws. He hasn't lost so far. And not just in León. In León, he's only played against him 1 time, and the rest, the other 4 times have been in other teams. So. But as a coach, he's never lost against him. And then for León, in the last 9 matches, we got 4 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. And sorry about the mess. And then we got 21 goals and 15 goals against. So that's probably gonna be a couple of goals there.
Well, I mean, if their match against Puebla that ended 4-4 is any indication, they're willing to give up a goal or 2. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Toluca's a little bit on a downward, not spiral, but they're not looking as solid as they did earlier in the season, I would say. This at home, this has got to be another win. Anything less would be disappointing for me, especially with hopefully again with fans. They haven't officially said, but hopefully also again with fans.
Then one more. I just wanted to compare like how players were doing scoring wise with other seasons. And let's see here. Okay, there you go. Got it. Right here. So this is the Guardianes 21. So Mena, which usually it's he's among their like top scorers. This season he has 4 goals. Last season he had 5, and at this time in 12 matches. The Clausura 2020, when 10 matches were only played, he had 8. Apertura 19, 6. Then the Clausura 19, I believe that was his first season. He had 10. I believe what was it? He scored like 13 or 14 that season. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I said it before, and I see like a downward trend for Mena. So I think we need to start not relying on him just to get us through, and someone else needs to start scoring. Because I think he might be, I mean, he's what is he, like 33 right now?
Yeah.
Mena?
So yeah. So I think for the coming years he's still gonna be scoring, but I think it's gonna be like not like not like 7 or 8. It's probably gonna be around like 5 or 6.
Well, he's not. He's in his last season, isn't he? We haven't renewed his contract.
Yes.
So after this season, I think he's out.
So so you think that this might be his last season then?
I think so. I mean, we could use that money to get some younger winger, invest in a younger winger. I don't know maybe about the quality, but I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of money to invest on a 33-year-old.
Yeah.
Who's trending downward, like you said.
Well, hopefully he's with Ecuador now. We know how much he loves playing for Ecuador. So hopefully he'll probably, he always seems to score and play really, really well with Ecuador. So hopefully he has a nice FIFA break with them, doesn't get hurt, obviously, and comes back motivated and refreshed and ready for the stretch run.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Meneses, this season he's only scored 1 goal. In the Guardianes he was 3. Clausura 2020, only 10 matches. He scored 4. Apertura at this time, 19, he had 0, but I believe he scored at least like 3 or 4 that season. Clausura 19, 2. Then Gigliotti, he's only been with us like, this is his second season, so I added more from previous seasons, but this is with Toluca. So this season, because of that contract, he hasn't really played much, and he has yet to score. Last season, at this time, he had 4 goals. Then with Toluca, at the same time, with 12 matches, he had 3. And the Clausura 2020, and then Apertura 3. And Clausura 19, 2. Montes, our captain, has yet to score this season. He has 0. Last season in the Guardianes, he had 1 at this time. In the Clausura 2020, 2. Apertura 2019, 3. Clausura 19, 1. Navarro has 1 goal. Guardianes 2020 has 2. Clausura 2021 and Apertura 19, none. Apertura Clausura 19, 1. And Avion Ramirez, who only has been, this is his second season too, I believe. He has yet to score, and then last season at this time he has yet to score, but I believe he scored 2 goals at the end of the season. Jairo Moreno, no goals so far. But he's been really a sub, so I guess it's kind of normal. Guardianes 2021, Clausura 2020, he didn't have any. Apertura 19, 2 goals. Clausura 19, 1 goal. Then it's only been the first season for Vito Davila, but he's our top scorer right now, so it kind of felt bad to like leave him out. So far, he's at least performing to what he was doing last season for Pachuca. So for just it's off by 1 goal. So Guardianes 2021 4 goals, and the last season 5 goals. So it's just on the same trend.
Yeah,
and that will be all for me.
Possibility of scoring.
Yeah, I think
You think he
ended
might double?
with 7. Yeah, because last season he scored 7, didn't he? Or 8, 7 or 8.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think he will. Which is interesting because in Pachuca and in here he's played more of a center role, even though it's not his role. That's where he has scored the most goals so far in both teams. And that will be all.
Awesome. Thank you, Jose. Kind of puts a perspective on where our goal scorers are at the moment, and I guess you can do a graph of how it ends, especially so many upcoming games, and maybe just include also CCL would be interesting in their goals. But yeah, so that will be a wrap for this podcast. I did not put the title of this podcast because it did not fit anywhere. But if you want to check it out on Twitter, it's called I just got tongue twisted. Que nadie se baje hashtag, as that's the hashtag that I always see Navarrito posting on social media. He definitely did, especially after his awesome goal. This was episode 70. We have way more episodes coming up. Our next podcast will be next Wednesday as we prepare to face for Toluca on Sunday, that following Sunday, and then we'll go into a CCL and another Liga MX. So lots of football for Leon, lots of opportunity for Leon to get things going, get the momentum, confidence, and I hope they do well in both tournaments. But yeah, so guys, anything else before we take off?
It's going to be a boring next week.
Yeah. I love hate these FIFA breaks. I want my games,
Lots of meaningless friendlies, which I pray to God no one gets injured. Everyone's healthy. Yeah. They're back.
Well, I realized these last few matches of the Olympic qualifying tournament. Yesterday, obviously, was USA versus Mexico in the Olympic qualifying tournament. These games in there, it's all being played in Guadalajara, and they have fans in the Estadio Jalisco. I didn't realize. If I had realized, I might have gone to yesterday's game. But if Mexico and USA meet up again in the final, maybe I'll go. It's only a couple hours drive.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead and take off. Thank you guys so much for joining us via Twitter and YouTube on this episode 70. Que nadie se baje, because we're all on this train together to reach Bicampeonato in hopes of winning a CCL as well. Join us next Wednesday as we recap Toluca. If you guys have any other comments, whatever you want, you can contact us through Twitter. Make sure you give it a thumbs up on this video if you're watching on YouTube, if you enjoy this podcast. Also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and check out at clubleonen.com for all the articles and everything you need to know with Leon upcoming matches. Shout out to Tom Buckley, writer for Club Leon. Also our very own Jose will be joining that too. Thank you guys so much. Take care, and we'll see you guys next week on another episode of the Lions Den Podcast.